Every few months, someone on the right rediscovers one of the favorite talking points of MAGA, which is, look, Donald Trump donates his entire presidential salary. What a good guy. Nobody gives him the credit for donating his entire $400,000 presidential salary. And this time it is former convicted felon. Interesting how that works with pardons. It is Dinesh D'Souza who posts that despite barely any media coverage, Trump needs more credit for this. He put out a tweet saying, quote, despite barely any media coverage, Trump has consistently donated his entire $400,000 annual presidential salary. Trump deserves credit for this, posting it along with this video of Trump bragging about it.
No other president, they say, with the possible exception of George Washington, and they haven't been able to find those records. And we've had wealthy presidents before, but no other president has contributed the salary. And they told me before this that you will probably be asking me whether or not I'm going to contribute my salary again, but you haven't asked that.
Are you going to?
Yes.
You are? Okay.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
All right. So the audio and video a little bit out of sync there. I apologize for that, but there is Donald Trump also saying, I need more credit. Everybody should be talking to me about donating my salary. Let me just put the number into context for you. Donald Trump reportedly made $2.2 billion in 2025. $2.2 billion. The presidential salary is $400,000. So what that means is that Donald Trump donated 0.018% of his annual income. Now, I want to analogize what that means. Scale it to the typical American. The median annual income in the United States last year was $65,000. Someone making $65,000 who donated the same percentage of their income as Trump is donating would be donating $11. If your friend who makes $65K told you, I donated $11, why don't more people talk about that? Why won't people acknowledge my extraordinary generosity? You would think, what the F is my friend talking about? You would go, that's nice, but I'm going to move on with my day. Let me know when you actually donate something significant. That is what Trump is effectively doing. Now, I think there's a bigger issue than that. This isn't just Trump making a charitable donation and expecting nothing back. The presidency isn't a side hobby. The presidency is what expanded Trump's visibility and influence and has given Trump the platform from which he made $2.2 billion in 2025. During Trump's presidency, after the first term, now again during the second term, Trump's brand has become more valuable. Even though there have been areas where it's become less valuable, a lot of buildings wanted to take the Trump name off of them when Trump became president. Donald Trump has been able to sort of push business ventures and licensing deals, merchandise, and crypto projects that made him a ton of money. So imagine someone saying, I donated $11 on an average salary. You'd go, that's kind of not really a big deal. Now imagine that the $11 donation came with the opportunity to get the access from which you made $65,000. That's what Donald Trump has done. Would you describe that as generosity, or would you go, well, that's an investment? I'll donate my $400,000 salary in exchange for making $2 billion a year. So this talking point has always been very strange. Supporters want people to focus on Trump's generous donation. They don't want people looking at the billions. The salary is tiny compared to the financial ecosystem around Trump's political career. And so before you even get into the ethical questions about how Trump has monetized political influence, branded merchandise and crypto and all of this stuff, whether all those activities are even appropriate for a president to be engaged in, that's an important but separate debate. Pretending the meaningful financial story is a $400,000 salary donation misses the point entirely. If you earn billions from being in public office, highlighting that you gave away $400,000 is very stupid. And it's like pointing to, we gave you complimentary peanuts and pretzels after someone buys, not a flight, but the entire airline. Now, you're free to believe that Trump's donation of his salary is a nice gesture. Don't confuse it with evidence that this isn't an extraordinarily lucrative presidency for Donald Trump. He loves to say, I could just be golfing. I didn't have to do this. And it's a lot more difficult. Well, it also, Trump's no martyr because he's the president. It gave him unfettered access to power and privilege, even compared to where he was before, and allowed him to make billions from being president of the United States. Don't forget about that. We will talk about possible charges against Elon Musk for breaking election law on the bonus show. The House has passed a bill that would make daylight savings time permanent. And there is a misuse of driver assistance systems that are posing a major risk to road safety. I have some personal anecdotes I will share about this. All of that and more on today's bonus show. Sign up at joinpakman.com. I'll see you then. Appreciate you watching. Stick around for this next video, and don't forget to hit subscribe so you actually see our uploads. You can also catch the full podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.